Hi, today we're at Virginia State University's Randolph Farm. We're going to be talking a little bit about how you can cheat the springtime, how to get out into the garden a little bit earlier. A few things, a few tips, a few tricks on how to do that. It's cold outside. We're in a greenhouse, and this is the ultimate way to cheat spring, but there's some other ways I think you can do it. What we have here is a raised bed. As you can see, this is a plastic covered raised bed that is a good way to warm up soil. The way that you go about doing this, first of all, you have to dig a little bit of a trench and pull some soil back so you'll have an area to put that black plastic on. As you pull this back, you're making a raised bed. The next step is to get your plastic and cover that raised bed with this black plastic. So after you've pulled the soil up to the middle from both sides, you create a furrow around the perimeter, and this is when you put the plastic down. That furrow is a place that you can pull the soil back and cover the plastic down. This soil that covers the plastic here will keep the plastic down, keep it from blowing away in those high winds of the springtime. Now this black plastic is going to help warm that soil up, and that's the idea for earliness here. You get warmer soil. You've raised this, made a smaller area to warm up of soil, and through this contact with the black plastic, it heats the soil up and lets you plant a little bit earlier. Well, now we've got our plastic put down, and this is a commercial grade black plastic that you can get at maybe a garden center or a farm store. But if you've just got a small area, you could probably get by with just using black plastic trash bags. Really all this is doing is a mulch to keep weeds from growing through, and it's also warming the soil. So after you've got it down, you need to cut a hole or cut an opening in it that'll allow you to plant your plant. And in this case, we've got some nice lettuce transplants, and we're going to pop them right in there. And of course, with all transplants, you're going to water that in good. One important thing to remember when you're putting this system down is to have some type of irrigation underneath this plastic, whether it's a soaker hose or a drip tape type material. That's going to allow the plants to really thrive, because otherwise they'd only get rain water through these planting holes. Well, let's go look at another method for cheating the growing season. Another great way to protect your crops from light frost is by covering them with some type of material like polyethylene plastic, or like this frost protection fabric. Now this comes in different weights and thicknesses, and it can be bought to protect crops from anywhere from 2 degrees up to about 7 or 8 degrees. It's a really nice material. It's very light, and what you can do is bend some little hoops, almost like a mini greenhouse, to hold the material over your plants. A rod like this, an 1/8 of an inch rod that's about 3 feet long, could easily just be bent into a kind of a hoop shape with your hands, and then you can put it right in the ground and then pull the material over it. Now once you've bent that hoop and you've put it in the ground, and they need to be spaced about 18 inches apart, you can take this material and just pull it out over the hoops. And you can see how it comes out pretty nicely here, and the hoops really support the material over the plants, and you can weight this down on the ends with 5-gallon buckets of water or bags of sand or something like that to keep it weighted down, but this will do a nice job of protecting your plants. Another thing is that it will exclude insects that are going to be getting in here early in the springtime, so that's an added benefit. Let's look at one more thing that you can use to cheat the spring. Well, the last thing I want to talk about as far as protecting your crops from light frost are hot caps. Now many of you have tried things like plastic containers like this milk carton here that you can cut the bottom off of and use it as a protectant for your plant. You know, it's something that would fit right over your plant right there if you think you're going to have some light frost after you've planted it. You could also put a stake through there to hold it down. These kind of things people use. They're not terribly effective because they're very thin, but I've got another one that actually is pretty effective. It's called a wall of water, and you might have seen these in the past. They're plastic material here that's got cells that you fill with water. So once you fill it with water, and you can see this one's about 2/3 of the way full, you set it on the ground. It kind of makes a little teepee right here, and you can open that up and plant your plant in there. Let's use tomatoes as an example. If you plant your tomato plant in there, this kind of folds in. It protects the the tomato from light frost. This water kind of warms up during the day and stays warm in there. And then as the plant starts to grow through here, you can fill these cells all the way up and it'll expand out like this. And it'll still provide a lot of protection around the plant as it grows. These things cost about $5 or $6, but they're actually very effective, much more effective than those hot caps at keeping your plants alive in cold weather. Well, for more information about season extension, please contact your local county extension office. From the Ground Up, I'm Chris Mullins. We'll see you next time.